Hi everybody, today I want to check out the XT3's audio capabilities because no one else has done that. So I got a little bit of LED fill light on the side there. This is an all natural window light coming in, and I'm using a Sanken COS 11 running through a Sennheiser G3 setup. And the first thing that I noticed is I had to dial down the output level on the receiver, the camera end, by about 18 dB, which isn't where I usually keep it when I put it on most cameras, but you do what you got to do for that setup. I also took the level down on the transmitter side about 3 dB to get everything to come into balance. And right now I am using fully manual levels, and I'm trusting that my voice is pretty consistent and that we're not going to be too low or too high, but basically I want to give you really straight, clean audio. The worst, or most rather, that I want to do on this should be to just bring the level up. So this is my lav setup. Next, we're going to plug in Next, I'm going to plug in a ribbon mic, which of course doesn't require power, directly into the camera and see how that does. My first test using that was kind of noisy, but I also had the computers and stuff on. I had my external drive cases on. All of that stuff is off, so the ambient noise level in the room is extremely low. So let's go try the next mic out. Okay, next mic. This is a ribbon mic. This is an MXL R44 that I've done a few mods on, mostly just retensioning the ribbon and getting that inner layer of screen out of the head basket. I've also added some silicone to the inside of the body and up in the head here to get rid of reflections that can go on inside. And we're running this directly into the camera on manual audio levels. And if I make any adjustment here, it's just to bring the overall volume up and down. My levels look pretty good. I'm looking over here at the monitor. And the light has changed because about a half hour passed in changing the setup. So the next thing we're going to do is try using the preamp back there. And we're going to run a condenser mic in at line level, use a 50 dB pad to knock the signal down, and see how that sounds. So that will be our next test. Okay, this is a MXL condenser mic. It's multi-pattern. I have it set in cardioid right now, and I am running it through an ART preamp with a GE12AX7, whatever it's called, tube. And I've got some really healthy levels, it looks like, going on. I'm just, if you can see over my head, hitting the tube a little bit, so this should be sounding pretty good, but of course, since I'm recording this, I can't tell. So at this point, I need to go stop the camera, take the cards in, and let you know what I think. And hopefully at this point, we'll probably have some agreements as to the quality of the preamps in this camera. And of course the question is, are they quiet enough to make this your A camera, or are they strictly kind of just as a ambience B-roll reference sound? Let's go find out. Alright, I'm doing one more test. And the first couple of tests, yeah, I kind of heard a noise floor in the camera. So I had the levels actually set manual at about -6 dB. They weren't at 0. So this time I pushed those levels on the camera down to -18. And certainly on my preamp on this mic, I have plenty of volume available, so I can turn those levels up. And even on the wireless receiver, I found that I had turned down the output of the transmitter. So we're going to do this one more time, and I'm just going to be quiet for a second. And of course the computer fans are on now, because you can probably see I've got the system turned on. So let me shut up. There's a little bit of noise from the heating system in the house, and I am picking up some noise from the computers. I can hear it, but I hope that my body is actually blocking it enough that it's not really too objectionable. So let me go take a listen to this clip. So now that I had a chance to listen to this on the big speakers, it was pretty clear that turning the input level down to -18 on the input level of the camera definitely reduced the noise floor. Even with the computer fans on, there's probably a touch of self noise in this mic, and I gave myself a little bit of space on this take just to see how much ambience is creeping in. I'm going to come up on the mic closer in a second. I don't know why the monitor's blinking out. Let's pull the mic up. All right, so the mic is now about 3 inches away from me, and I'm going to try and not make any plosives on it. See if that worked. So the conclusion here is that this camera's input preamps aren't the cleanest in the world. I mean, they're not horrible, but I think what you really want to do is set the input level on the inputs to -18 or even -20 or 24. It does skip like in 6 dB increments, and hit it with a little bit hotter signal from outside where you've got cleaner amplification. Now, can you use this as an A camera? Well, I think it would depend on the type of production work you're doing. Certainly for anything high-end, you're going to record externally anyway. Could you use this for more basic production? Certainly. And if you're going to dump music on this and throw a little denoiser on it, it'll totally clean up and sound great. But you have to be aware of this, just like anything else. So a little bit of care, a little bit of caution. I'm going to give the audio on this camera, I can't give it an A because the noise is there. I think I'm going to give it a solid B. Clean, usable, but be aware.